G'day battlers, and today we have a very exciting video because today we get to cover my good friend PurpleKyogre's Commander Cup tournament win. And if you were not already aware, PurpleKyogre is one of the best PvP content creators out there. He's been making videos since PvP came out. So seriously, he just hit 16k subscribers, so go check him out. Link in the description below if you have not subscribed already. And also this tournament was run on his Discord server, so he's running these Silph tournaments every month. So if you do want to get involved, maybe face PurpleKyogre, maybe face me in the future as well, that link to the Discord is going to be down there, so you can join in next month's Silph Cup that will be on the way. Hasn't been announced yet, but should be announced soon, I would imagine. But we are going straight into round one with the Lantern up against that Lapras, and it is a Water Gun Lapras, which is pretty interesting. But we're seeing this swap out into Alolan Muk now, and this is kind of a neutrally matchup because Dark Pulse from Alolan Muk are going to do a lot of damage. It's really going to add up, but Lantern can do a lot of damage if it can get a big move through, and because he has the energy advantage, he's able to get to this Hydro Pump. And do we see the shield? Ooh, no shield straight away. This is already putting the opponent on the back foot, but we are seeing PK swap into the Alolan Marowak for the Hypno coming in. So I'm not sure, this is a bit of a rough spot to stay in, but I guess wants to burn the shield and then go for a Shadow Ball to try and take out Alolan Marowak. Actually, that was a bit soon. It is just a Fire Punch, so PK calling that correctly. Seeing this swap out into Water Gun Lapras now, was presumably just waiting down the switch time, but before. Going to get the Shadow Bone off onto Lapras, which isn't going to take it out by any means, but going to do a nice little bit of damage, and maybe could have got the defense drop as well. The opponent actually going for the charge move here. I don't think they had to do that. I think they probably could have Water Gunned all the way down, but hey, we're going to see Lantern come in here, has the Thunderbolt ready to go. Do we see the last shield come up from the Lapras, or do we see... Yeah, we do see the Lapras go down, and it is now just Hypno against the world. Unfortunately, the world includes this Alolan Muk, and yeah, this isn't where Hypno wants to be. So it does PK burning the shields, playing it safe. Could almost go for the no shield flex, to be honest, but going for this Dark Pulse will burn that last shield from the Hypno. And then it only has to get to one more Dark Pulse, and that will take out that shiny Hypno. And I am actually just noting that is a best buddy Alolan Muk, which is pretty awesome. Obviously, not going to do too much for you in Great League. You definitely don't need best buddy, but it's nice to see that badge nonetheless. And maybe he's going to power this up into Ultra League later on. But that was GG's on game one. Going into game two now with the Lantern up against Alolan Marowak. Again, not like a great situation because this isn't a Water Gun Lantern. Really is relying on that Hydro Pump to do the big sort of water damage against that fire type. But Shadow Bone is coming through, going to do a little bit of damage. I actually wonder if Bone Club could be the better move there. I know Bone Club is a pretty bad move, but I actually don't know for sure. I'll check after this battle which way is the best way. But does get the shield bait successfully on the Thunderbolt, which is fantastic. PK does decide to burn the shield here, going to be able to get to that Hydro Pump, and going to try and burn both shields off that Marowak or take it out. Both options pretty great here. So goes for the Hydro Pump, and we do see the shield. That is definitely a fair play on the opponent's part. Going to let the Lantern go here because there's no reason to keep it around. You'd see more charge moves coming through from that Lantern, from the Marowak before he could get a charge move off on Lantern. Brings in the Alolan Muk, going to be able to soak up this energy. Is a Bone Club. He's going to be able to eat that up, charges up a little bit of extra energy now, and then he's going to go for the Dark Pulse and take it out before it can get another charge move off. And then Alolan Muk ready to power play again. Is it a Hypno that's going to come into the back? Maybe not if they were scared of last time. And he's actually the Alolan Muk, so going to swap into Toxicroak to hard counter it. And PK is cheering because it is Lantern and Alolan Muk on the other side. Toxicroak is great against both of these picks. Goes to the Mud Bomb. At this point, can just counter all the way down. Burn the shield here. And then, yeah, we'll be able to counter down. We'll have a Mud Bomb in a bit, a Mud Bomb and a half maybe. Yeah, about a Mud Bomb and a half. First one isn't going to take out the Alolan Muk, but then only needs to get to one more. Actually, if that Alolan Muk gets to a Sludge Wave, this could be problematic potentially. Ooh, one off. If this is a Dark Pulse, it's definitely all good. Oh, it is the Dark Pulse. Gonna hang on with a sliver, get the Mud Bomb off, and this is going to seal the deal. PK taking out round one up against Toba. But we are going to go into game three now with the Lantern up against Alolan Muk. Again, a little bit of neutral damage in that last matchup where we saw Lantern with a bit of an energy advantage going to this one. So it had a little bit of a better time, so it might go a little bit rougher for PurpleKyogre in this one. But going to eat the Dark Pulse and then farming up energy, already down into the yellow, but now throwing the Thunderbolt. Do we get that Force Shield out of the Alolan Muk? And we do. Definitely nice to see. I'm not sure if he could get to a Hydro Pump, but we'll definitely wait and see. He's going to burn the shield. Going to try and go for that Hydro Pump. One Snarl, two Snarl, three Snarl. Goes for the four Snarls, and the Hydro Pump going to be coming through now. Really nicely done there. Gets that shield off of the Alolan Mark, and again, actually swapping out into Alolan Mark, trying to soak the energy from the Alolan Mark, but unfortunately the opponent was holding onto it, so has to be mindful, be a bit wary about that energy maybe coming back to bite him a little bit later on. But in comes the Lapras and eating a Sludge Wave because there are no more shields on the opponent's side. That's really nice of PK. Burning the shield on the Silph, definitely could have tanked the Silph, but nice to keep Alolan Mark healthy, especially with that other Alolan Mark kind of running amok. They're gonna throw the Dark Pulse now, take out the Lapras. What are we going to see come in here? I'm feeling like it might be that Alolan Mark coming back, and it is. Alolan Mark has the charge move ready to go. A Dark Pulse will not take out PurpleKyogre's Mark at this point. And actually swapping out into Lantern after soaking up the energy. Lantern going to soak up this energy from Alolan Mark now. So I think at this point PK can bring his Alolan Mark back in, get a charge move off, does get it off, and this will take out that Alolan Mark, and then it's going to be up to Alolan Marowak to take out the rest of the Pokemon, which could be... Oh, actually hanging on with the Sliver. This is actually better because it means Alolan Mark is going to get a little bit of farm, which is nice. Ooh, but it's a Lantern in the back, and there are no more shields. This Lantern just needs to get to a Hydro Pump, and it's GG's. Even a Shadow Bone's just not going to add up quite enough in this one, so... Even with the defense buff, it wouldn't be enough. Hydro Pump going to come through, going to take out Alolan Marowak, and that is going to be GG's. PurpleKyogre taking out the first round in a 2-1. Going into round 2 now, up against Theme Taxus, and we are seeing the Alolan Marowak versus Toxicroak in the lead. Toxicroak instant swap out into Alolan Mark, and we're going to be able to see that Toxicroak come out and now just dominate this matchup. Going to go straight for the Mud Bomb, putting as much pressure as possible onto this Alolan Mark. No shield because they know that this isn't a great matchup. It actually doesn't get a charge move off. That is actually really surprising, unless it was in... No, it doesn't seem like it was intentional. I was thinking, like, maybe if there was a Hypno in the back, like, you know, if there was a Hypno or something that could, like, really dominate, get some energy. But no, has that Toxicroak, going to burn the shield on the first Mud Bomb, charging up some energy, going to go for a Mud Bomb back. But PK knows that if he shields this Mud Bomb, he's going to be able to get another one to throw back, keep the back and forth going. I'm not sure if it's going to be worthwhile to shield another one if the opponent does shield this one. And they actually let it go through. So going to bring Jellicent in now. Jellicent should be able to farm the rest of the way down. This is definitely a better matchup than that Toxicroak mirror match. So Mud Bomb going through. Going to be able to tank it pretty easily. And you're actually seeing the swap out into a Alolan Muck now. Depending on what charge move this is, this could spell trouble. It's the Bubble Beam. So going to debuff this thing. It does get to the Dark Pulse before Jellicent can run away though. So are we going to see the shield come up potentially? Yep, there's the shield, and maybe going to try and go for another Bubble Beam to really reduce these charge moves down, but going for the shield, and it is another Bubble Beam. PurpleKyogre getting baited there, unfortunately, but going to go for the Dark Pulse now. That I'm not sure if it'll take out Jellicent after 2 debuffs. Yeah, it does still take it out. Wow, that is GG's on game 1. Yeah, that is GG's on game 1. Went flash before my eyes, but we are seeing game 2 now with the Lantern up against Toxicroak. Not a great spot for PK to be in at all. He doesn't really have a great swap in. He's got that Alolan Muck in the back that's going to be weak, and he has Toxicroak with it. We've seen what happens if you swap a Toxicroak into a Toxicroak when the other one has an energy advantage. So he's just going to try and play it out best he can. Goes for the Thunderbolt. Does get a shield there, which is pretty nice. He's not going to get to another charge move before Toxicroak can farm him all the way down. This is not looking great for PurpleKyogre at all. He needs to get this Toxicroak out of here. Burning the first shield. Going to try and get as much energy as possible. The opponent's almost got another Mud Bomb as well if they don't already. Actually seeing PurpleKyogre's Mud Bomb go first. The opponent's got a shield here if they want to get that. Ooh, letting it go. That is really interesting. Jellicent coming in here. Wanted to keep that shield for later on, knowing that Jellicent versus Muck matchup where they lost their shield, didn't have any shields in play, maybe hurt them a little bit. But we are seeing the Alolan Muck versus Alolan Muck sort of neutral matchup again. This is a pretty common matchup in the Commander Cup. We're seeing it again and again. Didn't get the Dark Pulse off before the opponent's charge move, but doesn't really matter. Does that get hit by a Sludge Wave, which is a little bit unfortunate because Sludge Wave definitely doing a nice chunk of damage when compared to that Dark Pulse. Just going back and forth, back and forth. Do see PurpleKyogre burn his shield here, wanting to win switch advantage. Or I guess not really switch advantage when there's only 2 Pokemon left over, but wants to bring this Muck nice and low. Toxicroak is going to be able to come in now, farm up the rest of it, but no, Jellicent coming in here, and we know that it's got Bubble Beam, so this is a pretty scary spot. Actually, PurpleKyogre with no more shields eats a Shadow Ball. That is really rough there. I think it's kind of just because PurpleKyogre's team was a little bit too weak to that Toxicroak there, so hopefully he kind of adjusts going through this last game. It is now 1-1 in round 3, and we're seeing the Shiny Frostus up against Hypno, which is a pretty decent matchup, depending on where those Hypno's charge moves do end up landing. Frostus is going to be able to outpace the Hypno, but we're actually seeing this swap out into a Alolan Muck, trying to catch the Shadow Ball, but PurpleKyogre kept his finger, kept it cool and calm, no panic charge moves, and has that energy for later, which is going to be really dangerous. Mud Bomb landing on the Alolan Mark. Gonna get a charge move off, but as we saw before, Toxicroak will be able to tank it. One more counter, down it goes. Oh, two more counters actually, down it goes. And Hypno's gonna come back in now, presumably, and get a nice little bit of energy on this Toxicroak. There it is. One confusion, two confusion, and no charge move from the Toxicroak. But hey, PK can kind of bring in either pick here. Alolan Mark is probably a little bit safer, just because he knows that he can soak up the energy from the Hypno, whereas Frostlass would be a little bit scared of the charge moves coming its way and may have to burn a shield. Fire Punch, Shadow Ball, both would be doing a fair bit of damage. Going for the Dark Pulse now, which will take out the Hypno if it does go through. Does get the shield, so actually swapping, ooh, tried to get the Shadow Ball off, tried to sneak it through, but unfortunately just wasn't there. Fire Punch coming through instead. Shadow Ball going to go now. Does the Hypno burn their last shield, knowing the Hypno is a real liability? No, they let it go. And it is actually a Jellicent in the back. Double weak to this sort of darky, ghosty sort of combo. Definitely a little bit rough for the opponent. Goes for the Shadow Ball on the Frostlass. Does get the last shield. And I think Frostlass, if they burn a shield, has got to the charge move now. So, are they going to burn the shield? Ooh, actually lets it go. Eating the bubble bit. What a call. Burning the... Yeah. Shadow Ball, gonna go through now. Doesn't quite take it out, but Alolan Mark will be able to snarl down for the rest of it. Burn the shield here, couple more snarls, and this Jellicent will go down, and that is going to be PK, taking out round 2 of this 5-round tournament in a couple Dark Pulse swirlies time. Whee! Round 2, success. So going into round 3 now, up against Elite and free to play. He's actually currently Ace rank, but give him like a month. He'll be at Elite, just trust me. But Toxicroak versus Jellicent. We're seeing the male form of Jellicent this time around, and it is that Hex variant. Going for the Mud Bomb. This isn't a great spot for Toxicroak to be in, to be honest, but we'll see how he plays it out nonetheless. Gets a little bit of chip damage onto that Jellicent, and now swapping into the Alolan Mark, maybe trying to catch the Shadow Ball there, but again, all of these players are really just holding on to the energy. They don't want these charge moves to be catched because they know how devastating it can be. The Ninetales coming in, and it is a Powder Snow Ninetale, so not going to do as much chunky damage with the charms to the Muck, but still going to put on a lot of pressure with the Weather Ball. So actually getting this shield back with the Dark Pulse, which is awesome, and it's one snarl away from the Sludge Wave. So going to burn the shield here. Go up for that Sludge Wave, getting a little bit of extra energy, and now going for the Sludge Wave, which it's almost a one-hit KO onto the Ninetales if it goes through. Does get that second shield. At this point, we're actually going to see a full farm down. He could have got a Dark Pulse off there, but it wouldn't have done like heaps. Actually, Alolan Marowak coming up, swap, and we have PK dominating position here. The Alolan Marowak had a really good spot up against the Ninetales, so we saw the swap out into Muck. So then the swap out into Toxicroak. Toxicroak, great spot here. Going to throw the Mud Bomb, putting on tons of pressure onto this Alolan Mark. Almost takes it out. One more counter, so it gets a bit of extra energy, which is nice. Almost at another Mud Bomb here. Seeing the Jellicent come in. Goes for the Mud Bomb. Boom. And we're now going to see Alolan Marowak have to take on the entire thing. Jellicent has a lot of energy here, though, so has to be a little bit scared. Has a shield, though. So, actually calls it. Gonna think it's a Bubble Beam, and it's a Shadow Ball. Yikes, that is rough. And another charge move coming through. He has a shield. Even if it's a Bubble Beam, he'd be going down at this point. And it is, unfortunately, being absolutely played here. And yeah, it's GG's, unfortunately. That Ninetale is gonna land the Weather Ball, and PK is now down 1-0 in the third round. To be honest, I'm kind of hoping this Crustle appears at some point, but for now we are seeing the Alolan Mark vs Hypno. Way better lead matchup for PurpleKyogre here, and we're seeing that it's, hard counters follow hard counters with the Toxicroak up against Alolan Mark now. Eats a Sludge Wave, which isn't the best, but still going to be able to take this matchup handily. Has to go for the Mud Bombs though, could not counter down. Otherwise, we'll be seeing some more charges come through and probably some shields. Does land, let it go through, takes it down. We're seeing the Jellicent come back in now. Jellicent really worked to just soak up these Toxicroak's energy. Goes to the first Mud Bomb. Ooh, a little bit of lag there, but it's mutual. Isn't quite able to get to that next Mud Bomb, unfortunately, but going to be able to bring in the Alolan Muck here. Soak up, if this is presumably just a Bubble Beam, right? Yeah, just a Bubble Beam, trying to weaken this thing down. We're actually seeing the back-to-back charge move, probably back-to-back Bubble Beam, really trying to weaken down these Dark Pulses before they're able to take it out. I think that might have been a swap into Hypno there, not too sure. We did see the swap into Hypno. We're seeing the swap into Alolan Marowak now, clearing those debuffs for later on. And at this point, this is kind of anyone's game a little bit, because if Hypno can get like a Shadow Ball through, that would be absolutely huge. The opponent burning their first shield, correctly calling that it was going to be a Shadow Bone. So we might see a bait here. It is a Shadow Ball nuke again. These guys really just trying to go cutthroat, take these guys out. PurpleKyogre going for another just hard Shadow Ball. Do we get the shield? Shield again. I swear, if we see a Shadow Ball coming through from this Hypno, we're actually seeing this swap out into Jellicent. Shadow Ball going through now. Oh, Shadow Bone, sorry. Do we see the shield? We do not see the shield. Hypno going to be taken up by the fire spins, and it is now 1-1 in round 3. Pretty huge there, and whoever wins this battle does take out round 3, and we're starting off with an Alolan Marowak match. We know how this goes. Looks like actually PurpleKyogre got an extra snarl in there potentially. Not too sure. Maybe it was just visual. Does get an extra snarl in there, which is really nice for him. Gets the Sludge Wave off, which is awesome. Charging him extra energy, has tons of energy. Past 100, he's got 5 million energy at this point. Throwing this Sludge Wave, trying to get that Retribution. Does land it, which is really nice. Swapping out into Toxicroak. What a catch. What a catch on PurpleKyogre. Eating a Dark Pulse, no less. We do see the Jellicent come in now, so again, we're going to see this sort of chip damage with the Mud Bombs come through. And before a Bubble Beam can come through to debuff it as well. Trying to bring this thing down as much as possible. Few counters away from the Bubble Beam. If this is a Bubble Beam, then he's actually going to be able to hang on. And it is. Actually, it looks like it might have been an Undercharge as well, because I think a Bubble Beam does more damage than that. So I think it might have been a, hit no bubbles. Just try and get a bit of extra energy for the next matchup. Jellicent getting very low here, but has the energy ready to go. Alolan Mark coming in. Maybe going to see the Bubble Beam again. Ooh, does go straight for the Shadow Ball, which almost takes it out. Unfortunately, unfortunately for the opponent, the Dark Pulse is going to go through regardless onto this Alolan Mark. Swap into the Marowak, 2 fire spins, and down it goes that hard counter to Alolan Marowak. And we're going to see the Jellicent come in, trying to get a Bubble Beam off, and he is able to, which is really nice. I don't think this could possibly be a Shadow Ball. I don't think he had enough energy, but PurpleKyogre shielding to keep Marowak around and healthy. Going for the Bone Club, which will take out Jellicent if it goes through. And it does not. Wants to get another big charge move off. Maybe going for the Shadow Ball. Maybe going for the Bubble Beam. I don't think this is a bad shield. And it is a Bubble Beam, unfortunately. So at this point, going for the Bone Club to try and take this thing out. ASAP does not want to get hit by any more Bubble Beams. Any chance of a Shadow Ball. Does actually swap into Alolan Mark. And whoa! And he's gone. Alolan Marowak now locked in up against that Alolan Ninetale, which is a pretty nice spot to be in. Weather Ball not going to do too much damage. But he doesn't have like a big Flame Wheel or anything to take Ninetales out. So going to go for the Shadow Bone. Not going to quite take out Ninetales. A couple more Fire Spins. I feel like Weather Ball is going to come through here. Marowak needs to hang on to this. Fire Spin down and then get a charge move off. Fire Spin. Fire Spin. He has the Bone Club. He has the Bone Club. He has the Bone Club. Throws the Bone Club. And he has done Wow. PK taking out round 3 with the tiniest bit of HP. Absolute clutch going into round 4. Going up against Nightmare 1016 now, who is a really top battler out there. So PK has to watch out now if he still wants to get the crown. We're seeing Lantern up against Raichu, which is not a great spot for Lantern at all. So really has to think about how he wants to play this thing out. Both Alolan Mark and Toxicroak are much better plays. Going for the Thunderbolt to try and put some pressure onto this Raichu, which is really good. Does get the shield out, and unfortunately he's gonna hang in there. No shield. And it is a Wild Charge, which is almost going to take it out. Seeing the swap out into Munchlax, which is actually a pretty interesting swap so early. Like, you'd think you'd wait for PK to be able to bring something out first. But, yeah, I mean, now Munchlax is locked in up against that Toxicroak, unfortunately. So, maybe it's a bit of a bait play, trying to bait out the Toxicroak so that he can kind of hard counter it later on. Does go for the Mud Bomb. Has heaps of energy, though. So, even though this is going to take out the Munchlax, still in a really good spot energy-wise. We'll see what does end up coming out here. It is that Raichu who has the energy ready to go. Almost has the Wild Charge. I think he might have it at this point. Goes to the Mud Bomb. Does get the shield. Does have the Wild Charge now. Potentially just go for the Thunder Punch or something at this point. Does go for the Wild Charge though, which will take out the Toxicroak. Seeing the instant swap out again. Trying to keep Raichu. Clearly Nightmare's going for that sort of play to get as many Wild Charges off as possible, as often as possible. So, throw the Wild Charge, debuff yourself, clear out. And now we're seeing the Alolan Mark versus Alolan Mark PK able to land a Sludge Wave and get a nice little extra snarl in there, which is really great. Eats a Sludge Wave back. Has the shield advantage as well, so going to be able to get a little bit of extra energy. Throw the Sludge Wave. I think this will take out the Alolan Mark, or maybe it just won't. Yeah, no, it does take it out. Seeing the Raichu come back in. Burn the shield on this charge move, which probably won't be a Wild Charge. It is just a Brick Break. Has to get to this Dark Pulse. And I don't know this much for sure, but I feel like Raichu's pretty squishy and this Dark Pulse will probably take it out. Yep, down it goes to Raichu, and that is GG's on game 1. Sorry if these camera cuts are getting confusing, but I did a pretty bad job at cutting this video together. So we are going to see the Frostlass up against the Raichu now, seeing this swap out into Munchlax. So again, we're going to see this Munchlax being absolutely destroyed by Toxicroak. Going for this one Mud Bomb. Doesn't hit all the bubbles there and should be able to counter all the way down before... Oh, no, never mind. Gets a Body Slam just in time. If he hit all the bubbles, he would have been able to get that, but... Really getting weak on this Toxicroak, giving no farm to whatever comes in, which might be that Raichu with the Volt Switches coming in thick and heavy, and he does. Gets the Mud Bomb off beforehand though, which is really nice there if it goes through. Does get the shield, which is still awesome. And at this point, can really bring in either pick. Either pick is good here. Alolan Mark is probably a little bit bulkier, but going to bring in the Froslass, who has the energy ready to go already. Burn the first shield here. I think this will bring the shields down to 1-1. And we're seeing, again, that Wild Charge, throw and dip. I think PK is catching on to the strategy here. Loves the Wild Charge, throw and dip on Nightmare's End. Throws that first Avalanche to do a ton of damage, and then brings in the Alolan Mark Mirror Match. Now only has to go for Dark Pulses, and will be able to win this matchup out. Does get that shield, but still should be able to go straight Dark Pulse. No shields required. Does need a Sludge Wave, but still, get to a Dark Pulse, you win the matchup, and then it's going to be that Raichu in the... Ooh, actually, already gets to... Surely it's a Dark Pulse. I don't think this can be a Sludge Wave. Yeah, it's just a Dark Pulse. Going to be able to tank it. Couple more Snarls now that they've thrown their energy. This will take out the Alolan Mark, and now it's going to be that Raichu up against the Froslass and the Alolan Mark, and PK still has a shield. Unfortunately, isn't going to be able to get to a Dark Pulse on that Alolan Mark there, but will be able to get to this Avalanche that will take out the Raichu, and that is going to be GG's on round 4. PK now 4-0 in this tournament, so only one round left in the tournament before we do get into that. One more battle left in this round. And we're seeing Alolan Mark up against the Munchlax, which is a pretty interesting matchup again. It's one of those matchups that, like, if Munchlax can get a Bulldoze through, it can be really nice for the Munchlax, even though Bulldoze is not the best move, to say the least. But you're going to see the Dark Pulse get shielded there, which is, I mean, really great. If Mark is able to thread these shields off of Munchlax, that's really good. Also, I'm hoping this chair creaking sound isn't coming through too much, but it's the best I can do at the moment. So we're going to see the Dark Pulses just keep stacking up onto this Munchlax. No shield this time. I think Munchlax may be able to, outpace to the next Body Slam. So PK going to burn his first shield. We'll be able to get to a Dark Pulse if the opponent doesn't swap. I feel like there could be a swap imminent unless they decide to burn the shield here and go for a full lick down. Does let the Munchlax go. Probably the right play in the end. Getting the Raichu in to get some energy. And can anyone guess what strategy he's going to go for? Ooh, I have a guess. Or maybe he's going for the, he's built up the strategy. Ooh, actually not going for it. Catching the... Fair play. Really good play nonetheless, catching the Avalanche into that Ninetales, eating up all that energy from the Froslass that he really worked hard to get. And now that Raichu is in the back with energy as well, which is a pretty scary proposition. Lands the Weather Ball onto Toxicroak, which does do a nice chunk of damage. Counter is going to be neutral because of its Ice and Fairy typing. Burning the shield on that Weather Ball, hoping to counter down, and he is able to. So going to get the Mud Bomb off. Is not quite at the back-to-back Mud Bomb, I don't think. Or maybe he's not quite at triple. Yeah, not quite at the double, unfortunately. Needed one more counter. Raichu is going to take him out with a Brick Break here. And it's just down to Froslass. No shields in play. If Wild Charge comes through here, I think that's going to take it. Wild Charge takes out Froslass, and Nightmare taking out the third game of round 4. So these have been some incredibly close matches so far, and we are now going to the final round up against Heisenberg 24, who is, Helsenberg, which the text on the right-hand side of the screen kind of spoils the magic. But yeah, Heisenberg 24, who has a pretty interesting team. That Gengar can do a lot of work in this cup, so let's see how this final round goes. PK trying to go for the 5-0 sweep in this Commander Cup tournament. Oh, we're actually seeing the instant swap. Whoa, I don't know what happened there, but we are still seeing the old Ninetales up against the Munchlax. I actually have no idea what just happened, but we're seeing it nonetheless, and we're seeing the Weather Ball land onto that Munchlax. Going to keep on powder snapping away. Munchlax going to be able to get a Body Slam off here. They're going to come up pretty hot and heavy, but not as hot and heavy as the Weather Balls coming in. I guess cool and heavy. Cool and fast. From the Alolan Ninetales. Only has to get to one more to take this thing out, but Munchlax is going to get to the Body Slam first. Actually letting the Ninetales go, so want to get some more energy on anything in the back. Decides to go for the Toxicroak, get 3 counters in. And we're seeing that Gengar come in, so actually a really nice play to get this energy on, because these Mud Bombs are going to threaten that Gengar pretty nicely. So it does get the shield there. Maybe going to try and catch a move onto Mark. No catch here. Are we going to see a shield come up? Yeah, we do see the shield. I was like, is he going to leave Alolan Mark for the sweep? But no, going to see the Mud Bomb come through. Unfortunately, the CMP Tide does come in here, so it has to burn the shield. Is another Shadow Punch. Going to get the Mud Bomb through. Going to do a nice chunk of damage because of its poison typing. Does get the shield. I think Gengar outpaces it. Oh, going to go for the full Shadow Claw down. Sobs into the Alolan Mark here. If this Gengar has Focus Blast, it's GG's. GG's. that was really awesome, but we are going into game 2 now. Lantern up against Ninetales. Helsenberg is only one game away from denying PurpleKyogre the chance to get that 5-0 sweep. Going for the Hydro Pump now, going to do a lot of damage if it does go through. And we do see the shield come up, so a little bit unfortunate there. And it is that Charm Ninetales as well, so it's doing tons of damage. It does take a lot of Charms to get to the... Oh, actually goes to the Psyshock. That will take out the Lantern. In comes Toxicroak now. Charm's doing a lot of damage here. PurpleKyogre in a pretty rough spot now. I'm not sure how he can get out of this one. Unless there's a no shield on this Ninetales. Ooh, actually, okay, PurpleKyogre is back in it. Oh, no, it's the Hypno. And oh, dear. We're seeing a shiny Toxicroak come in, switch locked up against the Alolan Mark. That Hypno is in the back, ready to eat up PurpleKyogre's Toxicroak. Alolan Mark wishes it could get into that matchup. Does have the 2-0 shield advantage, but wow, this is a rough spot to be in. Burning the shield, this Dark Pulse is not going to take out the Alolan Mark, the Toxicroak, sorry. And I think Toxicroak will be able to count it down. It's going to be down to PurpleKyogre's Toxicroak in the back. Going to have to burn a shield on the Mud Bomb, and I think the opponent might actually be able to get to 2 Mud Bombs before PurpleKyogre can get to 1, potentially, and then has to take out a Hypno in the back as well. There is no, yeah, GG's PurpleKyogre being taken out in the final round, but that does leave him at 4-1, and actually on Tiebreakers, that actually puts PurpleKyogre at the top of the leaderboard in this tournament. There was no person who swapped for this tournament, so we are now going to the final round. PurpleKyogre, the champion of PvP, trying to take out this final tournament. We're seeing the swap out into Gengar, and we're going to see the Alolan Mark come in now. Going straight for the Dark Pulse, does not want to get hit by a Focus Blast again. We see the Shadow Punch getting shielded there. Really nice play on the opponent's part there. Heisenberg really a top battler, like, you know, really high elite battler. Knows their stuff, to say the least. The Snarls are doing heaps of damage. I don't think... Oh, actually, it could be a Focus Blast, I think. And it was good shield on PurpleKyogre's. He does not want to get humiliated again by that Focus Blast. Gonna see that Toxicroak come in now. Going for the Dark Pulse, maybe trying to get a shield out of the Toxicroak. Oh no, maybe just trying to go for as many charge moves as possible to put this pressure in. Bring this Toxicroak as low as possible so that Frostless can kind of clean up a little bit in the back. Almost could Snarl down here. One Snarl away from KOing. Gonna let Muck go here. Well, has to, I guess. But couldn't bring in the Frostless. Isn't able to take it out. And we're now seeing the Munchlax switch locked in up against Toxicroak. This could be Retribution, but you have to remember that Munchlax has 1 shield to PurpleKyogre's 0. Burns the shield there. Count is really adding up. I think Frostless will have to... This is a Bulldoze. It is a Bulldoze. Going to take out Muck. Why do I keep saying Muck? It's all, you know, it's all poisony dudes. But Avalanche going to take it out here and then need to get that one person through, take out Toxicroak, and that is GG's. Able to close out the tournament with a win. And with that, PurpleKyogre able to take out the win here up against a pretty stacked competition. We can see that on the leaderboard here, he does have that, you know, top tiebreaker score. But again, seriously well played, and I'm just really happy to kind of be able to kind of watch some of PurpleKyogre's battles from the shoutcasting side of the forest. He actually did do a video as well on his perspective, which is awesome because as many people doing Silph content as possible, it is fantastic to see. So I'll link to that video in the description down as well. Again, don't forget to join his Discord to join in these tournaments in the future. But with that said, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, especially that subscribe one. Thank you to PurpleKyogre for sharing this footage with us all. Thank you to my patrons and supporters over on Twitch as well, because I seriously do appreciate you. And yeah. Thank you for watching. You can check out some more Commander Cup tournament. Oh, they're over there. I really need to learn this direction thing. There's some more Commander Cup tournament wins over on that side if you want to check those out as well. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe because new Silph Cup coming very soon. So